Hi guys. Okay, so I'm gonna go ahead and share with y'all a dream that I had um back in like 2000, anywhere between 2011 to 2014. I don't remember the exact year, but it was a while ago that I had this dream, but God's been bringing it up ever since like this whole thing started with the virus. Especially this week. He's been reminding me of it along with like the parable of the 10 virgins. And so I just really feel in my spirit that I need to share it. So I don't tell a lot of people this dream, but in the dream, there was like a parade, and I was like walking through. I wasn't a part of it, but I was like walking through it, and I was trying to get people that I knew to come out of the parade. I was like, it was very worldly and chaotic, and I was like super uncomfortable, and nobody would leave with me. So I was trying to find a way out, and to my right was this door, and it was like a big red beautiful door, very intricately detailed. I was very drawn to this door, um, and it had like a round top, is double sided, and so I went in, and it was like um, like a it was there was a chapel inside. It was like a cathedral, and so um, as I went in, I went into the chapel, and there was like, it was prepared for like a wedding, but nobody was in there. And so I was looking for somebody to like help, see if I could find anybody for me to help, to prepare for the wedding or whatever. And I heard this woman singing, and I went out uh to the right in the entryway, and there was a room with a bride, and she was preparing herself. And the bride didn't have anybody with her. Like, there was no family with her. There was no hairdresser or just nobody. It was just her. And I was like, hello, I'm sorry to bother you, but are you getting married? And she was like, yeah, I am getting married, and um, you're not a bother. And I was like, okay, well, can I help you in some way? And she was like, no, you can't help me, but you can sit over there and wait. And I was like, okay. And so I'm thinking, what am I waiting on? And so I asked her, I was like, well, what are we waiting on? And she was like, we're waiting on the bridegroom. And I was like, okay. And I was like, well, I'm not invited, so maybe I should go. And she said, no, you are invited. Everyone's invited. And they have to come in on their own. And I was like, okay. And at that moment that she said that, the door, the big red door, shuts like really hard. And I was just like in grief. Like, in my dream, I was crying, and I felt so much pain for those people outside. And the bride came up to me, and she put her hand on my shoulder, and she said, it's okay. There will be no more weeping and no more pain. You do not need to fear. And I was like, okay. And that was the end of the dream. Well, when I woke up, I was like praying about it because I knew it was a dream from the Lord. And I really felt like the Lord was showing me that the red door represented the blood of Jesus. And, the bride was the bride of Christ, and how we had to enter in on our own. And I didn't fully grasp that or like understand that totally until he's been bringing me, like, he's been reminding me of the dream and reminding me about, like, in Matthew 25, and it talks about the kingdom of heaven will be like the 10 virgins, and 5 go out who are foolish, and 5, like, well, first of all, they're all asleep, okay? They're all waiting on the bridegroom, but they're all asleep. So that tells us, like, they're all believers, right? And because not the world's not waiting on the bridegroom, but the believers are. And 5 of them are foolish. 5 of them are wise. And the foolish go to the wise virgins and ask for their oil. And I always wonder, well, why can't they just share? Like, does anybody else wonder that? I don't know. But the Lord has showed me why they can't share. Like, The 5 foolish go to the 5 wise to get their oil because they are not in relationship with the Lord. They believe that he's coming, they know he's coming, but they're not prepared for his coming. They have not been doing the works of Christ. So, I just really felt in my spirit like they're going to these other people, the other virgins, because they don't have it for themselves. So I just want to encourage you, like, we cannot piggyback on someone else's back into heaven. We can't go in by our friends' relationship with God or our parents' relationship with God or whoever's relationship with God. We can't go on our pastor's word. We have to have a relationship ourself with Jesus Christ to enter into the kingdom of heaven. And I just felt that so strongly in my spirit. It's been just stirring up in me for days. And in Revelation, I think it's 19:7, it says that the bride makes herself ready. Like, we are not to expect somebody else to prepare us for the kingdom of heaven. We're not to, even if we listen to sermons all day long, but we don't go into the prayer closet ourselves, we don't get direction from the Lord ourselves, we don't do the works of Christ ourselves, how does that help us? Jesus says that many will come to him on that day saying, I did all these things in your name, and he'll say, turn from me, for I never knew you. So we have to know Jesus for ourselves, and we need to make sure that he knows us. I hope that helps you. I hope that sets you free. Jesus bless you, and have a great day.